Ty farms up, opts for the crunch on the CMP Ty, looking to get this Nidoqueen out of here. Nidoqueen, to my surprise, invests that Protect Shield. Holy, whatever's behind this does not want to see Zygarde. We're in the Christmas period, and my God, is Ty about to get one very nice Christmas present. In comes Public Enemy number 1, aka Wallface, and it's going to be straight in and straight out. Welcome back to the channel. I've had a few days off. I am very refreshed, very revived, and very happy after celebrating the festive period with my family. But today we are back at it. First of all, happy holidays to those of you that celebrate. And today we are getting things back into action with a boom, quite literally. Channel regular, my good friend Ty, is back repping his one and only Shadow Flygon with BOOMburst. You already know no one expects BOOMburst, and it hits everything for ridiculous damage. We've got a double ground theme team with Zygarde 10% form. We all know that Zygarde Complete is an absolute menace in the Open Master League. However, the 10% formed is ranked 564th on PvPoke. But despite that, as always, Ty pulls off some insane victories. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we see the battle of the water types. Mantine is favoured as the water Shurikens are resisted, whereas our wing attacks hit for neutral and the opponent is forced to spam out Night Slash, fishing for that boost. The RNG gods are not smiling on Ty's opponent as they spam out 2 Night Slashes and we see no boost. Ty withstands the damage, returns fire with the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace gets Greninja into the red. We attempt to snipe with Zygarde and the opponent responds with Skeledirge. This crocodile has rose in popularity due to this season's Incinerate buff, but we are a part dragon. We do resist the Incinerates, however, they do have access to Disarming Voice that would hit us for super effective. Ty forced to Protect Shield, shields the Disarming Voice. In return, the opponent able to outpace the Disarming Voice number 2, and Ty's going to invest both Protect Shields and commit to the full Dragon Tail farm down. Ty has residual energy, good to go. The opponent sends out Greninja, hoping we throw their charge move. Ty says not today. We farm it down and it's Cradily in the back. Ty fires off the crunch. Crunch forces the opponent's final protection. We bank the crunch for the road and it looks like we're sacrificing Flygon to the Poke Gods. I've used Flygon myself. We won't survive a Moonblast, but the opponent looks like they've got Grass Knot and Future Sight. Flygon hangs on with a sliver of HP, reaches the BOOMburst. BOOMburst rocks Cradily deep into the red. The opponent does get the full Psycho Cut farm down. We've got the crunch locked and loaded, and Ty is off to a very impressive 1-0 start. GG's and thanks for playing. We're one battle in and the BOOMburst count is off to 1. Predictions down below, how many BOOMbursts we land in this video. In the next battle, yikes, Shadow Vic is something the entirety of the team doesn't particularly fancy seeing. Ty farms up, throws the Aerial Ace, and of course Shadow Vic shields. Shadow Vic essentially shields everything. It looks like the opponent looking for the full Razor Leaf farm down, allowing Mantine to make Aerial Ace number 2. Ty then switches in Zygarde, looks to snipe. Unfortunately, no such luck on the snipe, so Ty invests the Protect Shield, and this savage bait us with the Acid Spray. Oof. The opponent then sends out the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death, then pivot out into a Lowland Sandslash. And if they don't know about that Earthquake coverage, they just found out. Sandslash gets vanquished, back to their Pokewall. The opponent does commit to the full Incinerate farm down. Ty still has 1 Protect Shield, 2 high behind. We send in Flygon and we get denied. 9-tick, fix your fucking game. Ty's huge cojones call the Flame Charge bait, which is resisted, but my God, we're not tanking these Incinerates particularly well. Ty then makes a savage catch him back onto Mantine, and you know that means the BOOMburst count is about to go to 2. High Talonflame, by Talonflame, get wrecked. Side note, why is that opponent running Metal Claw in the 2200s? I have no idea. In the next battle, we see Cradily. This funky looking tree is one of my favourite Pokemon. We know Ty loves to make catches. I imagine he's going to attempt to catch a Rock Slide onto one of his ground types before to Protect Shield. With the Ice Beam, we then pivot into Zygarde, drawing out Poliwrath. Zygarde's lack of bulk evidently on display as these counters are only hitting for neutral and they actually look like they're super effective. The opponent tank the crunch, return fire with the Icy Wind. Ty chooses Invest to Protect Shield and commit to the Dragon Tail farm down. Shout out to myself. You could see Ty got a notification for me posting on Discord. If you want to join the Discord, it is linked down below. But as always, I've got distracted. Zygarde able to reach the crunch, which Cradily easily withstands. The opponent fires off the Grass Knot, securing the knockout. We're now in the 1-to-1 shield. Ty sends back out Mantine. We attempt to make the catch, but unfortunately we're stuck in the wing attack animation. Mantine, pretty thick, able to withstand the damage and reach the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace, often a move I call Aerial Ass, and if you're wondering why, that's why. Despite it being neutral, it doesn't secure the knockout, but Tai finally makes the Rock Slide catch, catching the Rock Slide onto Flygon. The opponent now sends out Skeledirge, and Skeledirge is going to say no thank you and concede the match. In the next battle, we see another battle of water types. Again, Mantine is favoured, despite Shadow Swampert being the GOAT. The opponent now send out Dunsparce Tai, attempt to catch the Rock Slide onto Flygon, however is unsuccessful. Flygon does resist the rollouts, and Dunsparce does hit like a wet noodle, but again you can see Flygon's lack of bulk. Tai tank the first drill run, shields the second. Are we going to land another BOOMburst? Tai farms up, there is no baiting. Does the opponent respect the damage? Get that Dunsparce out of here. The opponent's final Pokemon is Shadow Venusaur, and Flygon still not done. Able to reach the Scorching Sands, which should be forced to Protect Shield or not. It looks like the opponent wants to save 2 shields for next season, and they're going to concede the match. In the next battle, we see buffed Rapidash in the lead. We say switch into Zygarde, drawing out Skarmory. Skarmory does resist the Dragon Tails, but they don't resist the Crunch. Tai fires off the Crunch, forcing a Protect Shield, and we get the defense drop. Tai doesn't particularly need switch, as all 3 of our Pokemon resist fire. However, ironically, due to Skarmory's Steel Flying typing, Skarmory does resist all 3 of our quick moves. Tai takes his shield advantage, sends back in Mantine. This Stingray is incredibly bulky. We see the instant no shield deployed. The opponent fires off the Sky Attack. We easily withstand the damage. Tai then overfarms, fires off the Ice Beam, looking to get Skarmory out of here. Skarmory already down 1 shield, not interested in shielding, and Tai is spamming out the switch, looking to sweep with Flygon. The opponent unlikely to return. With Rapidash, they send out Lantern, then pivot back out into Rapidash. This poor pony only has 1 Protect Shield, too high behind, and Flygon goes straight for the Scorching Sands. Scorching Sands secures the knockout. This silly electric fish now has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. This opponent really should be reaching for that top left. I suppose the only win con for this opponent would be calling the Dragon Claw bait. However, spoiler alert, we have no Dragon Claw. We fire off the Scorching Sands and the opponent just let it go. GG's. Yet another battle of water types again. Mantine is the king of the water types, or at least so it would seem. The opponent say switches into Charger Bug, and here comes Flygon. The Volt switches are going to be triple resisted due to our ground. Dragon typing Tai farms up, throws the BOOMburst on the CMP Tai. Does the opponent respect the damage? No shot. Boo, Mr. Opponent. Tai will be shielding up the incoming X-Scissor as he really wants to keep that super positive alignment again. Tai farms up, throws this time the Scorching Sands on the CMP Tai. Scorching Sands goes unshielded, and we do keep switch. The opponent now sends out Gligar, looking for the wing attack farm down. Tai banks the Scorching Sands and pivots back out into Mantine, as Mantine is very favourable against the remainder of the team. The opponent fires off the Aerial Ace, an easy tank for Mantine. Tai says throw another one, I don't give a shit. The opponent fires off another Aerial Ace, then pivot out into Poliwrath, attempting to catch the Ice Beam. Tai holds his energy, fires off the Aerial Ace, which lands for super effective damage. Tai then overfarms, fires off Aerial Ace number 2. Where is the opponent going to invest that final Protect Shield? It looks like they're putting all their hopes and dreams on Gligar. Tai commits the Ice Beam and gets there. Does the opponent respect the damage? Ice Beam forces the final Protect Shield, then pivot out into Flygon, fire off the Scorching Sands, which unfortunately is resisted. We also don't see the attack drop. Tai now going to wait out his clock, potentially saving Mantine as the 3rd shield. We send in Zygarde. Zygarde tearing through Gligar. With these Dragon Tails, the opponent fire off the Aerial Ace. We withstand the damage. Tai receives the energy for the Crunch, so we can shield up this next move, under tap the Crunch, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we lead Mantine into Shadow Nidoqueen, a pretty neutral matchup. The opponent could of course have Stone Edge, however I doubt it. The opponent stays in, likely to go straight for the Poison Fang, which they do. So if you're Nidoqueen in this situation, I'd recommend at least building up to the potential Stone Edge. You've always got to fake it till you make it. Tai builds up to the Ice Beam, baits with the Aerial Ace. We then see the pivot into Flygon. This opponent's super horny for the debuff, goes straight for the resisted Poison Fang, but even that does quite a lot of damage. They then send out Defense Deoxys. Tai full sends the Boomburst. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. Holy, that did a lot of damage. Of course, Defense Deoxys, with the name Defense, incredibly bulky, but Boomburst just hits everything for huge damage. The opponent fire off the Thunderbolt. Tai saving 2 Protect Shields for Zygarde, looking to sweep back out. Comes Nidoqueen. Tai farms up, throws the crunch on the CMP tie, looking to get Nidoqueen out of here. To my surprise, Nidoqueen invests that Protect Shield. Whatever the opponent has in the back, obviously not a fan of Zygarde. The opponent fires off the Poison Fang, looking to lower our defense. However, public enemy number 1, no defense drop, will be saving you. It's going to be high Bastiodon, by Bastiodon. Get fucking wrecked. Earthquake, huge overkill, and Ty takes the dub. In the next battle, we see Trevenant. A good lead for Mantine as all 3 of our moves, the quick move and both charge moves, hit this pesky tree for super effective. The opponent goes straight for a seed bomb, which doesn't do too much. Ty now very nicely over farming to the point where even an aerial ass will be lethal. The opponent just completely sacked their lead. We then see the pivot into Zygarde, drawing out Bastiodon. The opponent continues to stay in. Hello? What is in the back that you keep your Bastiodon in against the ground type? Ty recognises the opponent must be weak to ground, throws the crunch bait, forcing a Protect Shield. We do resist all moves from Bastiodon, but Ty may as well shield up Zygarde, as where else are you going to see Zygarde 10% form? This time we full send the Earthquake. Earthquake forces the opponent's final Protect Shield, and it looks like Flygon is going to be given the opportunity to sweep Stone Edge. Actually doesn't take us out. The opponent does get the resisted smackdown farm down. Out comes Flygon. Trainer, please pivot. The opponent continues to stay in, and Bastion's about to get vanquished. Back to their Pokeball. Scorching Sands secures a knockout. The opponent's final Pokemon is Shadow Swampert. Ty banks a charge move, pivots into Mantine, continues to farm up. At this stage, Ty essentially playing with his food. Hydro Cannon still isn't lethal. My god, is Mantine fit. Ty finally fires off a charge move. Ice Beam also won't be lethal. We've got the energy for the aerial ace, and Ty is finally going to finish his dinner. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, Mantine into Shadow Ninetales. Powder Snow or Charm? Let's see. Oof, it's Charm. We need to get this thing out of here. To be honest, Powder Snow wouldn't be much better, as Dragon Ground would take double super effective from the Powder Snow variant. Ty shields up the Weather Ball. The opponent then send out Stinky Binky, and we respond with Zygarde. To be honest, we definitely should have went with Flygon, as due to Stinky Binky's sub-fairy typing, our Dragon Tails are resisted. However, it looks like this fairy abuser is unfamiliar with accounts. They shield up the crunch, return fire with the Moonblast. Ty now sends in Flygon. Flygon going to be able to heavily overfarm before firing off the Scorching Sands. This is only a Rock Slide, and we see the instant no shield deployed. Even Rock Slide gets us below half health. Ty farms up to the double Scorching Sands. Scorching Sands will be securing the knockout. Back out comes Ninetales, and Ty goes straight for the Scorching Sands. Scorching Sands forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We then go for that wham bam combo play. Send out Mantine, fire off the aerial ace, which certainly won't be lethal. The opponent's final Pokemon is Metacham, and this looks tricky. Can Mantine survive the counters to double up on charge move? Mantine rapidly running out of HP. Please no power up punch. The opponent, luckily for us, has Ice Punch, which is going to allow Ty to double up. One aerial ace will be taking care of Metacham, and one aerial ace will be returning Ninetales to its Pokeball, and Ty wins a very close game. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the final battle of the video. Superior. Decent. This Grass Snake can hit us for heavy neutral damage with the Frenzy Plant. We see the instant no shield deployed. The opponent full send the Frenzy Plant. You can see just how busted a move that is. Ty looking to get Superior out here. Fires off the hard hitting Ice Beam. Ice Beam forces the protection. We then see the pivot into Zygarde. Our ground Dragon typing means this Frenzy Plant will hit for neutral last second. Ty invest that Protect Shield, and a good shield it is. It takes Superior 6, 6, then 5. This could also be a Frenzy Plant. Holy, 1 HP and a Dream we survive. We look to fire off the crunch. The opponent catches it onto a Ghost type. It's actually Saberline. That does respectable damage. Ty sends back out Mantine, but our Mantine's incredibly low. We fire off the aerial ace. Saberline easily withstands the damage. Can they Shadow Claw farm us all the way down? Oof. I guess they're going to one shield and farm down. And I think Flygon is going to have to tank a move. In comes Flygon. Hopefully the opponent YOLO return for no reason whatsoever. The opponent throw the foul play. They're going to make one further foul play. And ouch, this is going to hurt. We're now left on a sliver of HP. The opponent's final Pokemon is Talonflame. Ty is going to add one more boom to the BOOMburst count. But unfortunately, we're going to end the video on a loss. GG's to that opponent. Huge shout out to my good friend Ty. An absolute pleasure as always. you're always rocking unique teams with very fun shoutcasts. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to our battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.